All right, let's see if we are up and running here live. I'm showing a loading screen right now. I'm sure that's going to flip over. Hey, if you're hey, there we go. I just rolled over. So
right
now, I'm sure that's going to flip over.
Volume sounds pretty good, so I'm going to drop that down to the quiets
there. And if you're catching me in the future, you might want to skip ahead like 2 minutes for me to get past all the rigmarole of me doing uploading of social media alerts and stuff like that, and Discording and all those things. So if you want to catch up, like in 2 minutes, we'll be talking about stuff of relevance, I'm sure. But for those that are trapped here in time space with me here now, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. I publish online. And we're creating content that's Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons crossover content. So just as a quick backstory, I've been DMing since 1987. I've been a Magic the Gathering enthusiast since I want to say like 95, maybe 96, and yeah, probably 96. That feels about right. And let's see, I've been creating content for 5th edition on the DMsGuild since 2017. Oh yeah, and I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999. So when Wizards purchased D&D, excitement, and all kind of thought that we were going to see MTG D&D crossover stuff. Never happened. Finally, 2017 came around. And they published Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, and then there was the follow-up we had Theros and then Strixhaven, and none of these things had any mention of color mana at all. So we kind of realized that if there was going to be any kind of color magic language developed for 5e, we're going to have to do it on our own, which is what got me started on making content on the DMsGuild. Since Wizards of the Coast owns MTG and Ravnica, Strixhaven, Theros made MTG content a permissible subject of conversation as campaign settings and characters on the DMsGuild, then naturally that's where I'm going to publish the content. And so yeah, we created the color mana spell point variant rule system, which replaces the 8 schools of magic with the 5 colors. We replaced spell slots with the color mana system. Very simple mechanics. If you want to cast a first level spell, you spend 1 point of mana. That mana has to be devoted to the color that the spell is devoted to. And when you run out of that color, you can't cast those spells anymore. Whenever you finish a long or a short rest, you can devote any mana that you have remaining in your color pool. You can devote it to any color that you want. So when you take a short rest, you can completely adapt your color pool to align with whatever colors it is that you're going to need the most for where you think you're going to be at in the next leg of the adventure. And so that worked great for the spellcaster characters, and it does work great. But the martial characters didn't have any kind of native color language ideas that would make like a Boros barbarian feel different from a Rakdos barbarian, for instance, other than just flavor text. So we're creating the martial power system, which is giving all martial characters a mana point system and powers, martial powers, like 3rd edition Book of 9 Swords or 4th edition literal martial powers, to have characters of all 13 classes use the same mana system, so that you can, if you're a Rakdos barbarian, you can have red and black mana to do cool barbarian stuff. So that's what we've been building out. Now that I've gotten through all of the stuff, it's probably been about 2 minutes, and we can go ahead and officially get started here. If you're here on the X Twitter platform, I'm at Phil Kearney. You can catch notifications when I go live, see the different illustrations that I create and post, and coupons, discounts, other stuff like that that's going along. You're welcome to catch me there at Phil Kearney. Other than that, here on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications of when I am live in the future. We're at episode 154 of Designing the System. We've been at it a little bit more than a year now. Here's the entire playlist since episode 1 of us developing this system. Here's the playtest content that we're actually using. If you click here in the stream, you'll join us here on stream. Otherwise, martial powers. This is the actual document that I use. It'll be read-only for you, but you can read all of it. So you already have all the language you need for characters level 1 to 20, all the magic item creation rules, power kits for monsters, the conversion and hex crawl kit for Ravnica. It's all inside of here right now. We're just going through the refining process. We've got D&D Beyond open here that we'll be able to use as a reference guide for the sources. Go down to 2024. When we were here last time, we finished up building out the barbarian. The 4 subclasses that are with the barbarian in the player's handbook. We locked down and confirmed how the fighter was looking. Here, let's get past these things. Okay, fighter. There we go. Back into the fighter. And here are all the options that they have using the martial power system. And we got into building out the battle master. So we had 1 power that we still need to pick for the battle master. And then the battle master will be done. And then we want to review the champion, review the Psy Warrior, as well as the Eldritch Knight. So we're gonna go through cleanup on the battle master, and then we're gonna get into the champion and proceed from there. So this is all working on a half casting system, level 1 or rank 1 at first level, 2 at 5th, 3 at 9, 4 at 13, 5 at 17. The power die is like a proficient. It's like a martial arts die, superiority die, bardic inspiration die that increases as you gain levels. It impacts the amount of damage that you deal when you use a strike power. Like spend 3 mana to deal at 9th level 3d8 extra damage plus whatever the condition is that causes. It's very much like 2014 Paladin Divine Smite, except that you can't stack spells on top of it. It doesn't require a bonus action to trigger. It's on hit, or each the paladin can use their bonus action to spike the damage beyond what others could do. So the paladin still has their bonus action economy impacting their strike, although everyone can do them. The number of powers that you can prepare from level 1 to 20, and then the amount of mana that you get. Starts with 1 at first level and goes to 20 at 20th. It's on a short rest, whether you're a fighter, paladin, monk, rogue, ranger, paladin, barbarian, it doesn't matter. They're all using short rest. And there's a number of different ways for us to cheat additional mana in. I've been thinking about the unification of exchanging action economy for additional mana. And so currently I have it broken down as individual class features inside of the character's kit, but I think I want to change that. So that's probably what we're going to be working on tonight. I'm going to be here for a little while this afternoon working on the fighter subclasses, and then when we come back tonight later on, it's 2:15 here in Seattle. So in about a little less than 5 hours, I'll be back on at 7 o'clock here in Seattle, which will be 10 o'clock East Coast time. And we're going to play with some of the new ideas that I have for modifying, unifying, sacrifice your action economy to gain mana. You can give up your bonus action, you can give up your movement, and you can give up attacks. So like if you get 1 attack per round, then you could sacrifice that attack to gain a free point of mana. You could sacrifice your bonus action to gain a free point of mana. You can sacrifice your movement to gain a free point of mana, and that free mana burns off at the end of your turn unless you use the ready action that would implement that mana, in which case you can hold on to it until the triggering condition occurs, and then you use your reaction to then trigger the effect that you built the mana up. So like if all you need to do is wait in place and wait for that guy to come by, and then you want to snipe him with a some sort of strike ability. And then you're going to ramp up your mana. You're going to cash in your bonus action and your movement because you're not using them. You hold your action for when that guy comes through. When he does, you hit your reaction. You get the 2 points of bonus mana off of your bonus action and movement. And then you can spend however much extra mana you want to be able to hit the effect that you want to. But at any time during combat, Like if you have extra attack, you have 2 attacks, so you can give up both of them to get 2 points of mana. Nick is not an attack that you gain with your bonus action. It's an attack with your attack action. Nick is a bonus, an extra attack that you gain, is another attack you gain because of the mastery that you chose. Same thing with Cleave. It's not an extra attack that you can cash in for mana. It's an effect of the attack you already took. So in that sense, it's more like a weapon cantrip. It's like a strike cantrip instead of an attack action. So first level characters have 1 attack per round. 5th level martial characters, most of them have 2 attacks. The fighter has 3 at 11. And then at 20th level, they have 4. So like a 20th level fighter could take the attack action and then cash in all 4 attacks. Could cash in their movement, and then the only thing they would have left is their bonus action. And they just generated 5 points of free mana to use on that bonus action for whatever effect it is that they're looking to do with 5 mana. So that's a way that marshals can cheat mana into their action economy. It can only be used to channel powers. You can't use it with spells unless you're an Eldritch Knight or an Arcane Trickster, in which case they can. So multi-classing into Eldritch Knight and Arcane Trickster as a full caster is actually worth it, but it might not be worth giving up your 9th and possibly 8th level spell slots to get them. But depending on how long the campaign is going to go for and what kind of an action loop you're looking to achieve, you might be looking to do more of a Gishi thing. Like you just want to take 10 fighter, 10 sorcerer, and be like a heavy Gish. In which case you would be able to benefit from both of those things. So like an Eldritch Knight sorcerer would be a really killer build, because you'd be able to use your action economy to generate free mana that you could then spend on meta magic to affect your sorcery spells, for instance. That'd be really fucking cool. So those are some of the ideas, but we're going to be playing with that tonight. So none of what we're doing right now is going to impact that. But we do need to sit inside of the discipline space for us to go take a look at the Battle Master. Anticipate is a first rank reaction. I love them having that. Coordinated attack is maneuver 1. I believe that's still... there's cooperative effort. Do we have that in here? That was easy. Let's go to here. Cooperative effort. Maneuver 1. That is a maneuver, right? Yeah. When using the help action to grant advantage to the ability check or attack of an ally within 30 feet of you, roll 1 power die per mana channeled, adding the highest result to the ally's roll. Using the help action to grant advantage on an ability check or an attack roll within 30 feet of you, you can also roll 1 power die. There you go. I think I want to make it 60 and 60. An ally within 60 feet. I want to use the 60-60 rule, as in all effects last for 60 seconds or 1 minute unless you do something to interrupt them. And all effects can have a target range within 60 feet unless an ability specifies otherwise. So I think that's the way, when using the help action to grant advantage to the ability check or attack of an ally within 60 feet of you. There you go. So we're gonna straighten up the core mechanic rules on how channeling and targeting and all that stuff works. We're gonna do that at 7 o'clock tonight. Yeah, that help action is really useful. Cooperative effort, disarming strike, distracting strike is still first rank strike, I believe. Let's check that out. The dentist went well today. They're happy with my progress. I therefore am too. Distracting strike. First rank power requires 1 mana. Your weapon deals an extra damage equal to 1 power die per mana channeled. And the next attack roll against the target has advantage if the attack is made before the start of your next turn. So that is Distracting Strike. That's great. Interpose is a first rank reaction. As a reaction to when an ally within reach of your melee attack takes damage from a source you can see, you can take any portion of the damage and gain resistance to that attack. Each melee attack takes damage from a source you can see. You can take any portion of the damage and gain resistance to that instance of damage. You can take any portion of it and gain resistance to that instance of damage. Take any portion of it, of that damage, and gain resistance to it. It in particular. That's really useful. Coordinated dash, coordinated effort, coordinated attack. Yeah, interpose. As a reaction to an ally within reach of a melee attack takes damage from a source you can see, you can take any portion of it. Right, I just did that. Interpose, distracting attack, sweeping strike. I think sweeping strike is second right now. Let's go find out. Yeah. Your weapon damage increases by 1 power die per mana burned. You can choose a second creature within 5 feet of the original target, and within your reach to attack with the same roll. If the attack also hits the second target, it takes the same amount and type of additional damage equal to the result of the power dice rolled. Type of additional damage, the same amount and type of additional damage dealt, damage rolled. If the attack hits the second target, it takes the same amount and type of additional damage rolled dealt by the power dice result of the power dice rolled. Result of the power damage dealt equal to the result of the power dice roll. Okay, there we go. It takes the same amount and type of additional damage equal the same amount and type of damage rolled takes the same amount and type on the power dice. Takes the same amount of damage rolled on the power dice. Additional takes the same amount and type of damage rolled on the power dice. There you go. Yeah, it's probably not great English, but it's my English. Sweeping strike is pretty good. Coordinated dash, that's good. First strike is a great maneuver. It's an exploit. And then moving target reaction 2, that's also a really good one. Okay, cool. So I'm happy enough with all of those. I mean, it's Battle Master. You can't really go wrong. And we already figured out all the stuff that goes with it. So now we're going to jump down into the champion. We're going to go with level 3. Level 7. Level 10.
And then level 15. Level 18. We'll take this till we'll play until 4 o'clock in Seattle. So we have about 90 minutes left today, and yeah, I'm gonna click that over, and then we'll stop, and then we'll come back at 7, 3 hours later. So I'll have a break in there, so I can keep working on the Eberron layout book off screen. Let's see. I'm looking forward to tonight. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, cool. So let's go down to the champion fighter. Here. No. Fighter. Subclasses. Champion. There we go. Improved crit. Remarkable athlete. 19 or 20. Your attack rolls with weapons and unarmed strikes can score a critical hit. A roll of 19. When you roll 19 to 20 on an attack roll on a weapon attack roll, you score a critical hit. There you go. Remarkable athlete. Thanks to your athleticism, you have advantage on initiative rolls and strength. In addition, immediately after you score a critical hit, you can move up to half your speed without provoking an opportunity attack. Neat. 7th level, you channel mana. Let's do it this way. When you channel mana to add power dice to strength or dexterity checks, to a strength or dexterity check, if the result failed, you regain the spent mana. We already regained spent mana, I believe. That was an update that already happened. Let's verify by going down into the sustained powers. We'll look at empowered ability. There we go. While sustaining this power, choose one ability score. You have advantage when rolling checks and saves for the chosen ability. Kicker, while this power is sustained, you can roll 1 power die per mana spent. If you up to your max channel limit, adding the highest result. Adding the highest roll to the result of any ability check or save using adding the highest roll to the result of any ability check or saving throw using the chosen ability. If the check fails, restore the kicker mana to your pool. This is considered to be an exploit. You can sustain this power multiple times, choosing a different ability each time. So this automatically refunds kicker cost stuff. There could be other reasons why you would spend the mana, but I don't think that's a good use of this anymore because we already we folded this into it. So in addition, when you jump from a standstill, calculate the let's go ahead and revisit what the power is. Remarkable athlete. Thanks to your athleticism, you have advantage on initiative rolls and strength athletics checks. You have advantage when on initiative and D20 and D20 and on initiative rolls and strength and dexterity tests. strength, athletics, and dexterity, acrobatics checks. In addition, you can move up to half your speed. Jesus, that's wow. Okay. In addition, when you score a critical hit, you can move up to half your speed without provoking attacks of opportunity attacks. Checks, comma, and when you jump from a standstill, calculate the distance as though you had first ran 10 feet. In addition, when you score a critical hit, you can move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. When you score a critical hit, or use a maneuver as a bonus action, you can move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. I like that. Number 10, Heroic Warrior. The thrill of battle drives you towards victory. During combat, you can give yourself heroic inspiration whenever you start your turn without it. What is that? Remarkable athlete. And gain another fighting feat style of your choice. Do not need that. Remarkable athlete. You score a critical hit or use a maneuver as a bonus action. You can move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. For channel, maneuver as a bonus action, you can move half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. Recovered power. What do we get at 10th? Heroic inspiration. Heroic warrior. Jesus, you can give yourself heroic inspiration whenever you start your turn without it. Yeah, okay. During combat, whenever you can give yourself heroic inspiration whenever you start a turn without it. All right. And 15 superior critical, 18 to 19 to 20. And then survivor, you attain the pinnacle of resilience, giving you these benefits. Now, during combat, at the beginning of your turn, let's see. When you roll 18 to 20 on attack roll, you score critical hits. At the beginning of your turn, there we go. Okay, 18. So you have advantage on death saving throws. Moreover, when you roll an 18 to 20 on a death saving throw, you gain a benefit of rolling a 20. And Heroic Rally, at the start of each of your turns, you regain hit points equal to 5 plus Constitution modifier if you are bloodied and have at least 1 hit point. At the beginning of your turn, regain 5 plus con hit points. You don't gain this benefit feature. While bloodied, you regain hit points equal to 5 plus Constitution modifier. In addition, when you make a death save, a result of 18 to 20 is considered. The benefit of rolling a 20. In addition, when you make a death save, a result of 18 to 20, a result of 18 to 20, rolling 18 to 20 gains the benefit. Yeah, and a result of 18 to 20 gains the benefit of rolling a 20. Pretty straightforward. Now let's look at all the fun stuff. We're going to Side Warrior, and then we'll circle back around. We'll take care of Eldritch Knight at the back end. Thinking about Eldritch Knight. Bruh. Man. Thinking things through. All right, let's keep moving forward. Empowered ability is sustained 1, right? That's true. Empowered abilities, that's 1. Yeah. Tavern Brawler, I believe, is a feat that still exists. Tavern Brawler. Thundering Strike, Rogue Stance, yes, yes. Saving Grace, yes. Double Strike, yes. Roll with the hit, I think that's reaction 2. That might actually be reaction 1 now. Let's find out. Strikes, reactions, reaction. Roll with the hit, 2 points. As a reaction to taking damage from an attack, you reduce the damage by half. As a reaction to taking damage. Hexproof 4, yes. No, wait. Hexproof, is that 3 now? Nope, it's 4. Right, Revival and Indestructible. Okay, cool. Those will jive. Cool. Okay, champion's done. Easy peasy. Okay, so we're going to skip down to the Psy Warrior for now, and then we'll circle back up to the Eldritch Knight. Psy Warrior dice. D6, D8, D10, D12. Let's see. You gain 1 of your expended psionic dice when you finish a short rest, and you get them all back on a long rest. Let's see. Psionic Power, level 3. I guess let's just build it. So, level 3. Level 3. Psionic Power. And then level 7. Telekinetic Adept. Level 10 is Guarded Mind. Guarded Mind. Bulwark of Force. And Telekinetic Master. Let's see. All right, let's start at the beginning. Any feature of the subclass that uses psionic energy die uses only the dice from the subclass. Some of your powers expend the psionic energy die as specified. You can't use a power if it requires you to use a die. When your dice are gone, you regain 1 of your expended psionic dice when you finish a short rest, and regain them all when a long rest. Protective Field, Psionic Strike, Telekinetic Movement. Okay, cool. Protective Field. Let's see what that does. What does that do? What does Psionic Strike now? You can propel your weapon with Psionic Force once on each of your turns immediately after you hit a target within 30 feet of yourself with an attack and deal damage to it with a weapon. You can expend 1 psionic energy die, rolling it and dealing force damage to the target equal to the number rolled plus your intelligence modifier. Okay. Okay, so don't need Sonic Strike because we already have other stuff. But what I think I want to do while I'm thinking about it, let's look up Sonic Strike and see if that still even exists. Maneuvers, reactions, strikes. Sonic Strike does in fact exist. That's a really good one. Psychic damage, Sonic Strike. Let's what am I trying to do here? I had a thought. Oh, it was dire impact. That's what I was thinking of. Because you're getting the bonus, right? Sonic Strike makes a lot of sense for us just to have as a give me. So does telekinesis. Let's go with dire impact. Sus one. Let's go back to our abilities. Sonic Strike, got rid of that. Telekinetic movement. You can move an object or creature with your mind as a magic action. Choose one target you can see. Okay. Well, this has gone through some changes, so I guess let's change with time. Wait, protective field, that doesn't exist anymore. Oh, there it is, protective field. When you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you takes damage, you can take a reaction to expend one psionic energy die, roll the die, reduce the damage taken by that number. Protective field, when you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage taken by the sum of power dice rolled equal to the max channel limit. Let's see. You can use your... When you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to roll a number of power dice equal up to your max channel limit and reduce the damage taken by the sum by the sum of sum taken and reduce the damage taken by the sum of results. Plus your channeling ability modifier, minimum reduction of 1. Period. You create a momentary shield telekinetic force using your reaction. You create a momentary shield of telekinetic force using as a reaction. Roll a number of power dice up to your max channel limit. mana expended up to your max channel limit. The damage taken is reduced by an amount equal to the sum of power dice rolled plus your channeling ability modifier. There we go. Found it. And telekinetic movement. Is that what we call it now? We don't need Cyanic Strike. Alright, telekinetic movement. So it is. You can move an object or creature with your mind. As a magic action, okay, so we automatically get the telekinetic feat at first level. So let's go look at how the telekinetic feat already reads and see if this is even necessary. It could just be redundant at this point if the feat is able to execute everything that this provides. Origin feats. General feats. Telekinetic. You learn the Mage Hand spell. You can cast it without verbal or somatic components. You can make the spectral hand invisible, and its range and distance it can be away from you both increased by 30 feet when you cast it. The spell's spellcasting ability is the ability increased by this feat. As a spell, you can use the hand to manipulate an object, open and unlock a door container, tow, retrieve items from the container, put contents on a vial. As a magic action on your later turns, you can control the hand. Thus again, as part of that action, you can move the hand up to 30 feet. The hand can't attack, activate magic items, or carry more than 10 pounds. Target loose object, large, small. You transfer a target. The target must be a loose object that is large or smaller to one willing creature other than you. Telekinetic movement. When you cast the Mage Hand spell, you can sustain the hand as a first rank power. Yeah, there we go. When you cast the Mage Hand spell, you can sustain the hand as a first rank power. You don't need to maintain concentration on it. When you cast a Mage Hand spell, you don't need to maintain concentration on it. There you go. We'll call it that instead. There, that's much simpler. It's already a spell. Let's use it. And now, level 7, Telekinetic Adept. As a bonus action, you can fly. You gain a fly speed equal to twice your speed until the end of the current turn. Once you take this bonus action, you can't do so again unless you expend a psionic die to restore the power. And then Telekinetic Thrust, you can deal damage to a target with your psionic strike. You can force the target to make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, you can give the target the prone condition or transport it 10 feet horizontally. When you deal damage to a target with your psionic strike, and looking at psionic strike again, you can propel your weapons with psionic force once on each of your turns immediately after you hit a target within 30 feet of yourself with an attack and deal damage to it with a weapon. You can expend one psionic die to deal extra damage. Oh, okay, got it. Let's see. What's it called now? Telekinetic Thrust. When you use a strike power that deals psionic damage, you can use the push or topple mastery in addition to any other effects. The strike power in addition to any other effects. Strike effects. There we go. When you use a strike power that deals psionic damage, you can use the push or topple mastery in addition to any other strike effects. No, well, let's do it like this. When you deal psionic damage, with a weapon attack, you can use the push or topple mastery in addition to any other. There. Yeah, because you're going to get psychic damage at 5th level free, so by the time you get to this ability, you're always going to be able to do psychic damage if you want, which means you'll always be able to either push or topple somebody. Super fucking useful. So that's a great use of Telekinetic Thrust. Now let's excite Power Release. As part of movement, you can propel your body with your mind. When you jump from a standstill, you are considered to have been moving 10 feet. Prior to doing so, let's not do this. You can burn additional mana up to your channel limit, adding an additional die. let's do it. Let's do it like this. As part of movement, yeah. You can propel your body with your mind. You gain a fly speed equal to twice your speed until the end of your turn. You can use this feature once. You can use this feature once. As part of movement, you can propel your body with your mind. You gain a fly speed equal to twice your speed until the end of your turn. This is abundant step. Abundant step would make a lot of sense inside here. Cloud Strider, that doesn't exist anymore. Yep, abundant step. As a first level exploit. Flatten and shunt. Do I still have flatten here? Maneuvers. Shunt is 1. And flatten. Shunt and flatten still exist. We're looking at abundant step. I believe it is a first level exploit. Abundant step. Let's do it like this. Here's an upgrade. Side powered leap. When do we get it? We need to get it earlier than that. Shit. This is the way it should be done. Then we get at 7th. There, impact, flatten, psychic damage. There, good. You deal psychic damage, not psionic. Psychic. You deal psychic damage with a weapon attack. You can use the push or topple mastery in addition to any other effects. Psi powered leap. You gain the abundant step gains the benefit of the efficient power feat. Abundant step. The abundant step power gains the abundant step power gains the benefit of the efficient power feat. You gain the benefit of the efficient power feat when you channel Abundant Step. And oh, I love how we have so much stuff coded in here that we can reduce these complex ideas down to just 1 or 2 sentences. I am tickled pink that we can make this information. Look how efficient all of these class features are. They're all just so fucking short and good. They're not thick and mealy and wordy, just simple shit. Very, very simple stuff. Yeah. That's pretty good stuff. All right, cool. I'm very, very happy. Let's not geek out too much. We're still working. Get back to work, Ernie. But that feels really, really good. Let's see. Ooh, I still have some coffee. I'm gonna grab some. Be right back. I'm telling you, man, absolutely everything that we've been developing for this martial power system is better with the wording, with the options that Wizards has provided for the 2024 characters. Just, so good. Okay, so we're now on level 10, Guarded Mind. Let's check this business out. Thank you, Telekinetic. Guarded Mind. You have resistance to psychic damage. Moreover, if you start your turn with the Charmed or Frightened condition, you can expend a psionic energy die and end every effect on yourself giving you those conditions. Guarded Mind. The psionic energy flowing through you has bolstered your mind. You have resistance. Resistance to psychic damage. Moreover, if you start your turn Charmed or Frightened, you can spend 1 mana. You can expend... Are they saying expend? Expend energy die, expend mana, blah. Okay, good. You can expend 1 mana to end every effect on yourself, subjecting you to those conditions. Perfect. Bulwark of Force, slightly different is different. So you can shield yourself and others with telekinetic force as a bonus action. You can choose creatures, including yourself, within 30 feet of yourself, up to a number of creatures equal to your intelligence modifier. Each of the chosen creatures has half cover for 1 minute or until you have the incapacitated condition. Once you use this again, you can't use it again unless you expend a die. You can shield yourselves and others with telekinetic force as a bonus action. Oh, wait. Bulwark of Force, level 15. I see an opportunity here. Defensive barrier, 2nd level reaction. Reaction 2, sus 1, exp 1, strike 1, flatten maneuver 1, dire impact, sustained power 1, reaction 1, maneuver 1, telekinetic bubble, maneuver 4. Celerity is sustained power 3. We've got defense barrier reaction 2 at 13th level. Then at 15th level, it gets better. You shield yourself and others with telekinetic force as a bonus action. You can choose creatures, which can include you, that you can see within 30 feet, up to a number of creatures equal to your max rank of power gained as a fighter. Each of the chosen creatures is protected by half cover until they are more than 30 feet away from you or until you're incapacitated. You can use another bonus action to choose new creatures to be protected this way. You can shield yourself. As a bonus action, you can choose creatures, which can include you, that you can see within 30 feet of you, up to a number of creatures equal to your max rank of power. Gained as a fighter, each of the chosen creatures is protected by half cover until they are more than 30 feet away from you, or until you're incapacitated. You can choose. You can use another bonus action to choose new creatures protected this way. Is this just? Oh, okay. You can shield yourself and others as a reaction. As a bonus action or reaction, you can choose creatures, which can include you, that you can see within 30 feet of you, up to a number of creatures equal to your max rank of power gained as a fighter. Again, as a fighter. Each of the chosen creatures is protected by half cover until they are more than 30 feet away from you, or until it is protected by half cover. For 1 minute, each of the chosen creatures is protected Let's look at defense barrier again. I think I can do this better. Let's look at defense barrier first real quick just to see what it does. I think it provides full cover for an instant. Oof, it's 3rd rank now. Defense barrier, reaction 3. As a reaction to a source you can see targeting you with an attack, you create a momentary opaque barrier, granting you full cover against the attack, causing it to automatically miss unless it ignores full cover. The barrier disappears at the beginning of your next turn. Okay, guard mind. The psionic energy flowing through you has bolstered your mind. You have resistance and blah blah. 15. You can shield yourself and others with telekinetic force. As a bonus, oh, okay, here we go. As a 2nd rank sustained power. You can period. You can shield yourself and others with telekinetic force. As a 2nd rank sustained power, you can grant any number of creatures within 30 feet of you. You can grant half cover to the max rank gained as a fighter, including yourself. Gain the benefit of half cover. You can change who gains this benefit. While the power is sustained. You can shield yourself and others with telekinetic force. As a second rank sustained power, a number of creatures up to the max rank gained as a fighter, including yourself, gain the benefit. A number of creatures up to the max rank you have gained as a fighter. Rank of power you've gained. Benefit. Is that how a word is? How is it worded? A number of creatures up to the max rank of power you've gained as a fighter, including yourself, have half cover. Half cover. You can change who gains this benefit. You can change who benefits from this feature as a bonus action while the power is sustained. In addition, you can target any creature up to 30 feet. In addition, any let's do this. As a third rank power. God, that is fucking expensive. As a third rank sustained. No, let's do it. Yep, let's do it like that. As a third rank sustained power, a number of creatures up to the max rank of power you've gained as a fighter, including yourself, have half cover. You can change who benefits from this feature as a bonus action while the power is sustained. In addition, as a reaction, you can by an attack, you can channel what's it called? Defense barrier. In addition, once per round, you can the way I want to. Okay, so once per round, an ally who is benefiting from the bulwark of force can receive the benefit of the defense barrier power. A number of creatures up to the max rank of power you've gained as a fighter. half cover. Within 30 feet of you, have half cover. Have half cover, period. You can change who benefits from this feature as a bonus action while the power is sustained. In addition, once per round, when one of the creatures benefiting from cover this way is hit by an attack, you can use a reaction to channel defense barrier. Why don't I just steal the language? By an attack. In addition, once per round, when one of the creatures benefiting from cover this way, benefiting from the cover you create, benefiting from this cover, is hit by an attack. In addition, once per round, when one of the creatures benefiting from this cover is hit by an attack, you can use your reaction to increase the protection by granting full cover against that attack, causing it to automatically miss unless it ignores full cover. The barrier disappears after the attack. The barrier disappears after the attack. Diminishes. Thank you, timely timer. The attack, as a reaction, okay, the barrier diminishes after the attack, returning to half cover. 3 mana to sustain this is basically a sustained defense barrier effect that you always have on. It's granting everyone that's targeted with half cover. If one of your covered allies is hit by an attack, you can use your reaction to instead make it full cover, protecting them from taking any harm without costing any additional mana. In addition, once per round, when one of the creatures benefiting from this cover is hit by an attack, you can use your reaction to increase their protection by granting full cover against that attack, causing it to automatically miss unless it ignores full cover. The barrier diminishes after the attack, returning to half cover. And then Telekinetic Master at 18. And then we'll be able to get into the Eldritch Knight with a little bit more than a half hour left to go. So our timing is pretty good. Let's look at Telekinetic Master. You can duplicate the telekinesis spell as a sustained effect, channeling 5 mana to do so. Once you cast a spell with this feature, you can't do so again until you expend a psionic die. While sustaining this effect, you can use your action or bonus action similar to a maneuver power to target a creature or object, but no more than one target at a time. Your action or bonus action. There. We offloaded it all into the telekinesis power. We should probably look up the telekinesis power. Now that that's a thing. Well, there it is. Thank you, hyperlinks. You gain the ability to move or manipulate creatures or objects by thought. When you cast this spell as a magic action or on your later turns before the spell ends, you can exert your will on one creature or object that you can see within range, causing the appropriate effect below. You can affect the same target round after round or choose a new one at any time. If you switch targets, the prior target is no longer affected by the spell. Creature. Try to move something. Object. You can try to move something. Door, container. Okay, easy enough. The bird says, let's see, Telekinetic Master, Bulwark of Farce, Guarded Mind. I think that wraps up the Psy Warrior. Let's make sure all this, we already double checked. This all makes sense now. This is jiving. This all jives. Good. Good. Okay, cool. So, now we can grab all of that. Champion. Eldritch Knight. Nigget. Okay, this is going to be interesting to work on. Okay, so let's check out the Eldritch Knight. So my original thought was,
that you get these 27 powers over the course of 20 levels. You start with 5. You have 9 at 3rd level, and by the time you get to 20th, you have a total of 27. My thought was that the Eldritch Knight, when they prepare a spell, they have to spend 2 prepared powers to learn 1 spell. The half-casters, normal martial characters can't cast any spells at all, but can prepare a bunch of powers. A half-caster, like the Ranger and Paladin, can freely prepare both spells or powers. There you go. And they have 27 of them to choose from between. The Player's Handbook now has them gaining 2 at 1st level, and then ending at 17, plus masteries, plus fighting styles is an extra, like 4 or 5 that they gain. So they end up being somewhere around like 23 total. My idea was, let's just stack them up with 27. The Ranger and the Paladin are going to get their spells, or a mix of spells and powers. And then all the martial characters get their 10 powers. But then we have the Eldritch Knight. So like I was just saying, the idea was that that they gain, they can choose spells. But now I'm thinking so all subclasses get a bonus 10 powers. So I'm thinking those bonus 10 powers are just going to be pick 2 spells. Level 3, pick 2 spells that you can cast, up to the level that you can cast. 5th level, pick 2 spells up to the level you can cast. And then, no, it'd be 3, 7, 11, 19. Those would be the levels that they clip in at. I'm okay with that. It's not structuring to the scaffold quite. So I'm a little bit dubious about having it play out that way. But that's kind of the ideas that I was thinking about. Like we'll give you 10 bonus spells from your bonus power list. They'll just be pick 10 spells, and then if you want to prepare any spells beyond the bonus ones that you selected, you can spend for every 2 prepared powers that you spend, you can learn another spell. So that way you could deck yourself out to have 10 bonus spells plus the plus 13 more to have 23 spells plus a power. If you really wanted to lean into just spell casting as an Eldritch Knight, and we'll do the same for the Arcane Trickster with the Rogue. See, that's the idea. So this new method may allow us to reduce the amount of powers that they gain to maybe something like 4 to 23. That would be 4 at 1st level, and then 1 per level after that, capping at 23 at 20th level. That would potentially be more reasonable. And then if we stick to that double method, that would mean that with 23, you can end up having 11 plus the 10 bonus. You can end up having 21 plus a spare power. So that's a lot of firepower, and so the Paladin and the Ranger going from 4 to 23 as well would end them at 33 total. I'm okay with that. I think that's gonna all work out. So I think that's what I actually want to do. I think I want to go down to here. And I'll go with 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Thinking things through. I mean, 17's okay, but we get the free fighting style. That's 1. And then 2 masteries. That takes us to 20, and you'll probably get a 4th or 5th mastery along the way. That takes us to 21. So we could do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 21, 20. They might as well give them 23 is fine. 23 is fine. Yeah, I like that. So we're going to keep that set here, and then we're going to go down. Fighter. There we go. So let's switch this out now while we're thinking about it, and then up to the barbarian. Swap it out while we're thinking about it. And then go down to the rogue since we're thinking about it. We're not there yet. We'll get there. Okay, cool. So again, back to the Eldritch Knight. Let's figure out. Let's figure out how this is gonna work. Where are we at? 3:40. Cool. We still got 20 minutes before we have to worry about anything. Let's look at how this stuff will work for us. Spellcasting and level 3 spellcasting. War Bond. So 2 words or 1? War Bond. And then 7 is War Magic. Eldritch Strike. Arcane Charge. Improved War Magic. Okay, cool. Now let's look at the top first for whatever reason. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace 2 of the attacks with a casting of 1 of your level 1 or level 2 wizard spells. This has the casting time of an action. Two of the attacks with the casting of 1 of your level 1 or level 2 wizard spells. This has a casting time of an action. So if I use the attack action, I give up my attacks and get a spell cast for free. I'm okay with that. Improved War Magic. You can when you sacrifice actions to gain temporary mana, you can use this mana to cast 2
pay for casting any Eldritch Knight spell you know. There you go. So at 18th levels when this clicks in, I would have 3 attacks. So I have 3 attacks. I could give that up and my action. Sorry, I could give up those 3 attacks as my action, and I could give up. Oof, no, that wouldn't work. I could give up. When you sacrifice actions to gain temporary mana, you can use this mana to pay for casting any Eldritch Knight spell you know. When you take the attack action, you can replace the. You can replace 1 attack you can use 1 attack to instead cast a Eldritch Knight spell you know. Cantrip or spell you have prepared. Yeah. So Arcane Charge. When you use your action surge, you can teleport up to 30 feet away to an unoccupied space you can see. You can teleport before or after the additional action. Okay, I'm cool with that one as written. When you use action surge, excuse me, your action surge, you can teleport to a location you can see an unoccupied space you can see up to 30 feet away. Either before or after using the When you use your action surge, you can teleport to an unoccupied space you can see up to 30 feet away before the end of your current turn. For the end of your turn. There, just use it any fucking time that you want. War Magic is good. Eldritch Strike, I suspect is going to be redundant, but let's take a look anyway. Oh, maybe it will be useful. You learn how to make your weapon strikes undercut a creature's ability to withstand your spells. When you hit a creature with an attack using a weapon, that creature has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes against a spell you cast before the end of your next turn. you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace one of the attacks with a casting of one of your cantrip that has a casting time of an action. War Bond, spell casting. I like War Magic, but I want to improve upon it. When you take the attack action, you can place any number of attacks with you can forgo one attack to instead cast a cantrip. As an owner's night cantrip. With a casting time of 1. I guess that's important. Am I still? Yeah, we're doing good. Eldritch Strike. Still. How did that go? Now that we know what War Magic is, right? Hit a creature with a weapon attack. That creature, the target, has disadvantage to save. Disadvantage on the next saving throw against a spell you cast before the end of your next turn. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, the target has disadvantage . Hold on, man. Let's check that out. Oh, wow. So if I hit 4 creatures, like if I'm 20th level and I hit 4 creatures, all 4 of those creatures will have disadvantages on the next attack. So I go around and I blap everybody. And then I drop a fireball on them and they all have a disadvantage on their save. That sounds delightful. I love that. I like that a lot. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, the target has disadvantage on the next saving throw against a spell you cast before the end of your next turn. Cool. War Magic is already good. War Bond, I think that's just use a weapon as an arcane focus. You learn a ritual that creates a magical bond between yourself. You perform the ritual over the course of 1 hour, which can be done during a short rest. The weapon must be within reach. Once you have bonded to a weapon, you can't be disarmed with that weapon. Okay, War Bond. War Bond. You can perform a special. You can perform a 1 hour ritual to bond a to create a magical bond between yourself and one item, period. You can perform a 1 hour ritual to create a magical bond between yourself and one handheld item. One item you can hold in one hand. The item must remain within 5 feet of you during the ritual, and it must not be bonded to another. Must not be bonded or to another character, or if you choose a magic item to bond with, that item cannot be attuned to another creature. Once an item is bonded to you, if it is on the same plane of existence as you, you can use a bonus action to summon the object to your hand. You can have up to 2 items bonded at once this way. Each requires a separate ritual to bond and a separate bonus action to summon. While you and the object cannot be disarmed while you hold it. While you hold it. There you go. Delete. Warbond looks good. Spellcasting. Let's go. Okay, what does spellcasting do? Whenever you gain a fighter level, you can replace. Okay, let's go. Let's go through all the bits. Cantrips. Cantrips. Prepared spells. Level 1+. changing your prepared spells. Spellcasting ability. Period space. And spellcasting focus. Warbond. You must ritual. You can done. Short rest. Weapon must be within your reach throughout the ritual. At the conclusion, you touch the weapon, forces the bond. The bond fails if another weapon bonded. If the weapon once you are bonded a weapon to yourself, you can't be disarmed of that weapon unless you have the incapacitated condition. If it's on the same plane of existence, you can summon that weapon as a bonus action, causing it to teleport instantly to your hand. You can have up to 2 bonded weapons, but you can summon only one at a time with a bonus action. If you attempt to bond with a third weapon, you must break the bond with one or the other. If you choose to bond with a third weapon, you must, what does it say? Break the bond with one of the other 2 objects. Hold it unless you are incapacitated, period. It doesn't say here that this weapon acts as an arcane focus. I thought that was one of the cool things that happened in the Unarcana playtest packet, was that the weapon became a spell focus, but it doesn't say here. Spellcasting focus. A weapon. Any object you have formed a bond with using the war bond feature can be used as an arcane focus for your Eldritch Knight spells. Period. Spellcasting ability. You can use your channeling ability as your spellcasting ability as well. Period. Changing your prepared spells. You can change your prepared spells as though they are on your list with another wizard spell for which you have spell slots.
chose 23 because I'm thinking that you can prepare spells as easily as you can prepare powers. But the way that it's structured is you can only change spells when you gain levels. You can place one spell when you gain a level. Which is similar to sorcerers. But that does not jive with powers. Because powers, you get to switch a number of powers equal to the max rank that you have per long rest. And so I can do one of two things. I can either limit you to the spells known, like the 10 bonus spells that you get over the course of 17 levels. You can be limited to just those spells as the only spells that you gain, and then you can swap those out when you gain a level. And then you can just change prep per long rest with the list of powers that you have, but then maybe we don't need 23 powers. The other, because like the ranger and paladin, they only get 17 power. They only get 17 spells themselves. Wizards get to swap out their prepared powers, but they have to know what those spells. They have to have those spells in a book. Sorcerer gets to prepare powers, and they get to change one per level. Clerics and druids get to change all of their spells on a long rest. Let's verify if that's still true. Actually, before we dive into that direction, let's confirm it's true that you can swap out all of your prepared. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can change your list of prepared spells, replacing any of the spells with druid spells for which you have spell slots. So you have access to all of these. Spellcasting. Let's look at cantrips. You know 2 cantrips of your choice from the wizard spell list. Ray of Frost and Shocking Grasp are recommended. Whenever you gain a fighter level, you can replace one of these cantrips with another cantrip of your choice from the wizard spell list. When you reach fighter level 10, you learn another wizard cantrip of your choice. Choose 2 cantrips from the wizard spell list. Choose 2 level 1 spells from the wizard spell list. Two cantrips or level 1 spells. Choose a combination of 2 cantrips or spells up to level 2 from the wizard spell list. Choose a combination of 2 cantrips for spells up to level 3 from the wizard spell list. Choose a combination of 2 cantrips or spells up to level 4 from the wizard spell list. except that you don't get 4th level spells until 19th level. So it goes 3, 7, 11, 19. God, that's jank as fuck. Add 2 spells, add 2... Okay, so that's the prepared challenge we have. Here's our cantrip challenge. Prepared spells, level 1+. Cantrips, prepared spells, level 1+. Cantrips and prepared spells, period. Period space, blip, blop, there. Cantrips and prepared spells. When you, let's see, Phil. Choose 2 more, up to level 2 spells. Choose 2 more, up to level 3 spells. Choose 2 more, up to level 4 spells. No, still level 3 spells. Period, period, period. So 2 cantrips plus 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So
Starting at 3rd level. Let's see. Cantrips. Period. Level 1 plus. Cantrips. Choose 2 cantrips from the wizard spell list. Choose 2 level 1 spells. At 3rd level. As you gain level, 3rd level. As you gain higher levels, you can choose more spells at preparing. Choose 2 cantrips from the wizard spell list to know. Changing your cantrips and prepared spells. You start with 2 bonus first level spells. 2 bonus. Choose 2 level 1 spells from the wizard spell list to prepare. At level 7, you can prepare. You can choose level 2 spells. At level 11, you can choose level 3 spells. At level 19, you can choose level 4 spells. Period. Okay. Preparing spells. Choose 2 level 1 spells from the prepare list to prepare. At level 7, you can choose level 2 spells. At 11th level, you can choose level 3 spells. At level 18, you can choose level 4 spells. Copy, paste. Instead of gaining bonus powers, you gain a list. You gain a selection. You can choose a selection of cantrip and spells from the wizard list. At 3rd level, let's see, at 3rd level. At level 3, choose 2 powers. We'll do that. At 3rd level, choose 2 powers. At 3rd level, you can change these at higher levels. Hold on, let me check my phone here real quick. All right, and it is 4:21. Dismiss. All right, we're almost done. So instead of gaining bonus powers with this archetype, you can choose a selection of cantrips and spells from the wizard list instead. Cantrips. At 3rd level, choose 2 cantrips from the wizard spell list known. At 3rd level, choose 2 level 1 spells from the wizard spell list to prepare. At 7th level, you can choose up to level 2 spells. You can choose up to level 3 spells. You can choose up to level 4 spells. When you gain a level, you can change any number of cantrips or spells gained as bonus spells. Instead of bonus powers. Up to the maximum level spell listed above. You can use channeling ability. You can use your channeling ability as your spellcasting ability as well. Any objects you have formed a bond with using spell focus, you can use. You can use any object you have formed a bond with using the war bond feature as an arcane focus. Spellcasting follows all rules for components, maintaining concentration, etc. All rules for components, maintaining concentration, etc. Cantrips at 3rd level spell. At 3rd level, choose 2 cantrips from the wizard spell list known to learn. 3rd level, choose 2 level 1 spells from the wizard spell list to prepare. At 7th level, you can choose up to level 2 spells. At 11th level, you can choose up to level 3 spells. At 18th level, you can choose up to level 4 spells. Changing cantrips. When you gain a level, you can change any number of cantrips or spells gained instead of gained as bonus powers. 9th level. Level, any combination of 10 cantrips or spells up to level 3. Up to level 2. Or spells or level 1 spells. 9th level, any combination of 8 cantrips or spells up to level 2. 18th level, any combination of 12 cantrips or spells up to level 3. At level 19, it is level 19, yeah? I didn't change it. It would have been nice if they changed it to 18, but I don't think they did. Yeah, level 19. Oh, it's level 13. Blurp. 7. Four, 6, 6. That makes no sense. Two cantrips and 2 level 1 spells. Okay, cool. So that there you go. I'm not sure if that's the best way to word this, but I like it. Normally you would get 13 and 2. This is giving you 10 and 2, well, 13 and 3. This is giving you 10 and 2. So 12 versus 16. I kind of like the ability of being able to... I don't like the idea of freezing powers because that creates a disparity in how you're preparing stuff. I don't necessarily like that. I think the bonus is more elegant. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave it at that. I'm still stewing on that. We'll see. But that's where we're at. So that's where we're at for now, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cut out of here, and I'll be back in about 2.5 hours for me to continue working on martial powers, the action economy, as well as looking at the Warlock. So be welcome to dive in with me then if you want. And thanks a lot for anyone taking interest. Really appreciate you. Cheers.